symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? The Job Guys back with you one more time. That is Nick over there, Ryan sitting right over here. Nothing going on this weekend, eh, Nick? Nothing in wrestling?
I don't. A few things have happened, haven't they?
Just a couple. Yeah, just a couple. We are here to talk about them. We normally do our WWE pay-per-view reviews. We are going to do that. Payback last night. Standard for WWE this year when you don't think pay-per-view is going to be that great. Turns out to be pretty good. I thought a good payback, but we are also going to use this time to talk about the big news of the week, and that is CM Punk fired by AEW. 1 year after the last time he got in some trouble. We got Brawl out. Now we have Brawl in. So we will get into that also. Nick, as we always do, overall thoughts before you get into specifics about the pay-per-view Payback last night.
Just going to say, sadly, he not only trumped Wembley Stadium with his news, he also trumped Wyatt and Funk.
Yeah.
We haven't been on since the last time. Just saying,
good point.
Shouts out and, rest in peace to those two and the fans, friends, and family members. Hope they're all doing well.
And a lot of them out there. Overall, Nick, pay-per-view, slight
I did
thumbs
like
up,
it.
Big thumbs up. What do you got?
No, I wouldn't go because I can't give you a big thumbs up without the big dog. He's not on the pay-per-view. So there's no way I can give this an A without the best guy being on the pay-per-view. So I'm getting photobombed, I think, in the back here.
Yeah, not bad. Getting your shoulder eaten there.
But. Yeah. As good as, again, it was one of those ones, looked like it was going to be meh going in. And I think overall it did deliver as far as most of the matches. Couple surprises for me. I don't want to say shockers, but there were just a couple things that happened that I did not see happening. So,
okay, well, we will get into them. Let's start right from the get-go. They open up with the cage match. Trish against Becky. I have been very vocal about Trish Stratus.
I know you have. Since
WrestleMania. She has been awful in the ring. Awful. Couldn't do moves anymore. She's 47 years old. It has not been good. Had to be carried through the matches. Real sloppy. This angle has not been good and dragged. It's like, come on already. They finally put it all together. This match was great. Trish in her very first cage match. Every single thing that didn't work before, it all worked here, Nick. What a way to kick things off, and what a surprise.
I thought it was great, and this is what I thought they should have done more of when she came back after that first match, and you did see, whether you want to call it ring rust, whether you want to call it age, it wasn't the same Trish that we had seen 15 even years ago. Mm-hmm. So maybe another street fight before this, maybe stuff like that to keep her out of just a standard one-on-one match. But this one absolutely delivered. I love Trish. I don't think the angle was as bad as ever. I think it was also the product of some bad timing. They seem to keep getting pushed. Like, I think Becky got hurt at one point and couldn't do something that was supposed to happen on Raw. They got jumped off of, they weren't on SummerSlam.
Right.
They kind of just got thrown together on certain nights on Raw. Again, it wasn't the greatest angle, but man, this match, I thought Trish took live rounds all night on that cage. You could see it on her face and her body. I think she maybe had something to prove there. It was the suplex right off the top. Shades of Hogan Boss Man, was it not? It kind of took you back there a little bit. But great match, though.
It was a great match, and even before the suplex, that when she got her legs caught and flipped over, she's hanging upside down. I mean, we know she's a big yoga player. That is some serious yoga right there. That had to hurt the legs. Again, you mentioned ring rust. I think maybe that is it, because she was taking some live rounds Monday as well. And that bulldog she hit running off the one table to the seats through the other table, she landed flat on her butt.
Oh, my God. I thought she was really hurt. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she took that other table spot. So, yeah, I'm wondering if she was like, okay, I got something to prove here, like you said. Thought it was very good. The right person finally won.
And then she put over the other girl.
The Zoe
Starks,
at the end.
Zoe Starks, yeah.
Yep. So what's going on there? I don't know. That's one of those. Was it a real heel turn? Is it a heel turn? What's going on there? Or face turn? I have no idea. But so I assume those two are going to go at it. Who knows now with Becky? They start teasing Tiffany Stratton. She was sitting ringside. She was sitting ringside Monday as well. And then in the back afterward, they had a little face-to-face. So either Tiffany's coming up with that belt or Becky is going down to NXT. We will see what happened there. But, man, what a surprise. Great match to kick this thing off. I thought it was really great all around.
Yeah, all right. I really enjoyed it. I thought also, is this the end of Trish, do you think? I was going to ask, like, for a little bit, maybe take – because it was a place where, Zoe Starks did one-up her, kind of at the end. Becky Lynch got the win. I'm wondering if, because she has been working a fairly regular television schedule.
Since Mania, yeah.
I'm sure she's not on the house shows, but I didn't check on that. But
like one. She did one in Canada, yeah.
Okay. And I wonder if she's going to be there or maybe take time off to maybe come back Rumble time. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, obviously, if she stays, she's doing something with Zoe. But
that would assume, yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait and see on that. Then here comes John Cena. He was announced the night before as the host of this thing. Typical Cena. He's coming out doing, I love all you guys. I'm going to make it a great show. Miz comes out and interrupts him, says, you can't be the host. I'm the real host. I've hosted things better. They have a pretty cool back and forth. We know the history between these guys. Cena says, I'm the referee for your match with LA Knight. LA Knight comes out. And again, this may be the biggest pop out of all of them so far, Nick. It was massive. And then the LA Knight chants. I thought this was a fun match. Go ahead and tell us, not a world-beating match, but a pretty good match.
Match worked. It did it. I'm just God, I'm ready to move on. I was more worried as you were with the Miz last Monday. That was rough watching that go. Again, that whole impersonating people thing is a very dangerous thing to do. Because he sure as hell landed a freaking death blow almost with that. I mean, it was really good.
And you mean that by saying all he has is a couple of lines, a couple of catchphrases, and he's nothing more than that.
And I mean, and an Austin Rock. Again, I told everybody I'm for it. This guy grew up watching Austin Rock. So to me, of course, he's going to mimic them.
Right.
If I became a wrestler, I'd probably be, doing, whatever I'm doing though, but he is really close to those. And when you're yelling, what? Yeah. Oh, man. For the generation that's old, it might take some of them a second to go, yeah, you know what?
But it didn't doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. Thank God. Because I love LA Knight. I'm hoping he does well. The right guy won. Fun match. Cena was great with the Miz. I agree.
It's funny at the first half of this match, like, is it just me or was Cena like 200% less noticeable than Aubrey Edwards in the ring? Yes. Like, I forgot he was even there.
And I'm glad you brought that up because as soon as he announced himself special guest referee for this match, I'm like, holy crap, he's going to overshadow the other face.
Right. I mean, like Austin has always done when he's the referee.
Basically, almost every special guest referee, Sloke. I mean, Jesse has probably worked the best at SummerSlam 88 as far as, but yeah, he did a great, Cena just great. I tell you, and we've said this dude wrestles in the Attitude Era. And has the has the elongated career. Maybe he comes in 97, 98, and he wrestles till 17. Right? He may be the greatest of all time. I mean,
they announced him as that yesterday.
Well, I don't know if,
right.
But
and then he did get involved, obviously, after that, and kind of took over. The thing at the end, and LA Knight wins, as he should have. Nice match, fun match. Then Cena kind of does the put Knight over thing at the end. They're up on the ramp. They're kind of talking. And then they end with Cena raising his hand. And I completely disagree, but it's things like this that make me slightly understand why people have never liked John Cena. It just seems so fake when he threw his arm up in the air and then he pointed at him and he had this look on his face. It was like, if I was putting you over, I would not have that look on my face. You know what I mean? Like, it was so, I don't know. That did not work for me at all, but whatever. That's John Cena. You know, we have grown to know that guy, and that's the way he is. All right. Theory taking on Ray, U.S. title on the line.
Surprise.
I don't care about this at all.
Why did he drop the belt, Ryan, in the first place? Why did Rey Mysterio need a U.S. title run?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. We've talked about it. Theory's broken, man. Yeah. I mean, the Cena rub did not work at all. He comes out. It was crickets, man. Crickets when this dude came to the ring. Match was just whatever. It was fine. But
the match is not. Rey Mysterio doesn't really have bad matches,
right?
You know, I just don't understand what we're. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a rift in the LWO over this belt.
You would think.
We just haven't seen it,
right?
But I'm more concerned with you because when I line up the LWO, no offense to any of them, I love Zelina Vega, man. Zelina Vega. I said that right.
Yeah.
She's been great. Theory's the dude, man. I saw a future here. I saw a dude that could, you know, possibly, and maybe, you know, it's just me. I'm not anybody. But this dude, I saw like what LA Knight is doing right now in Theory, except reverse as a heel.
Yeah.
You know, and you are right. Since WrestleMania, he beat Cena. I don't even think it was problem with Cena because he was still hot after he beat Cena. Then they just didn't do anything with him.
Right.
This guy just went. Now I can't even tell you feuds he's been in.
He hasn't had any.
You know, other than Escobar, which didn't really culminate. He got hurt and Mysterio beat him.
Right.
And he was like one, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's in the top 5 longevity for U.S. title runs in the history of that belt.
I'm not sure, but he had it for a minute.
Please don't quote me on that. But I thought they were mentioning it. He is up there. He's definitely in the top 10. He was having a elongated run and just loses the belt on a Friday Night SmackDown in an unannounced match to a dude who's way over and does not need that belt. It's just confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Ray wins with the victory roll. He is now 2-0 in Cinnamon Toast Crunch matches. So for those keeping track of that. Slight nitpick here. The LWO comes out wearing PWO shirts. Yeah. Pittsburgh World Order. I only put that together because
I didn't.
They had them. Yeah, I was trying the Puerto Rican world. What are we doing?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I did too. Okay. And then I saw it. Then I realized they had those same shirts at SummerSlam in Detroit. DWO. Now, this is nerd me. Why can't they figure out the font of the P? The P was so freaking little. It was like that with the D in Detroit, too. It was like some child came through and like drew a D or drew a P on there. I have no Photoshop, no graphics, no anything talent at all. And I figured it out for our stupid logo. Why can't WWE figure it out to make that thing look the right way? You can't get the same font. What are we doing? It looks stupid. If I can figure it out, freaking Triple H should be able to figure it out.
I'm just glad you told me what it was. I didn't catch. I'm sorry. I'm just old, I guess. Pittsburgh World Order. Okay.
I probably wouldn't have known unless they had the DWO shirts. And I'll try to find one and put up the thing. It looks stupid. It's like little tiny and then the normal NWO. I would have bought one if it didn't look stupid. All right, here we go. Maybe the match of the night, Nick. Sammy KO versus Judgment Day Steel City Street Fight. This thing was balls to the wall from the get-go. I'm not usually a hardcore match guy, but this worked. It was very good. And I know there was one spot in there that probably made you happier than heck. They get thrown into the bench where the Pittsburgh Penguins sit. And they come out wearing Lemieux and Crosby jerseys. And
2 known fighters.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nobody brawls like that's like Probert and freaking Ty Domi right there. You know?
There you go.
when they got hockey sticks. I mean, just everything was sweet in this match. Go ahead. I'll have more to say.
I thought the coolest thing, even as a Pittsburgh Penguin fan, Judgment Night unity. I don't like run-ins, but when after Dom came in for the second time, they have to win this match. They can't lose.
4-on-2.
Yeah, and then Rhea comes in, and then McDonough comes in, who took one. Did you hear Corey Graves say, "Oh my God, he just died"?
Yeah. When he got drilled on the table.
Oh man, he took off, man. I thought it really did show Judgment Day. These dudes, I would say almost all of them are over except for Balor. I don't understand. I'm sorry, and I know that may upset. I'm not saying the dude is not good or anything. I just think Damian Priest is worlds ahead of where he was when this group started. Rhea Ripley is worlds ahead of where she was when this group started. Dominic Mysterio might be one of the biggest heels in the company right now. Then there's Balor, who's kind of just there. I like, and that's why I'm actually into this JD McDonough character, because I hope it gives some life to Balor in this angle or something, and they can do something with this. The match itself was awesome. The swanton on the outside by Kevin Owens, I thought he might have hurt his feet, his heels, because those came bam down. Oh my goodness, that was
much like we talked about Trish. Like he missed the table and just sat on the floor.
Oh goodness, good thing he was okay. Owens powerbombing JD, I have written down, and Rhea, she freaking did a wicked spear on Owens through the freaking ring. What do you call the siding?
The barricade thing.
Barricade. Oh my goodness. Right, and you know what? And they did. They got the fans involved. They ripped on the terrible towels.
Yep.
Fun match. Good match. And you know what? I think this might be better. Judgment Day, loaded with gold. They are as over as I had ever thought they'd be.
Whoever would have thought.
And you know what? It's time to do something with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. To me, these guys have kind of flatlined since the bloodline angle has moved away from them.
They've been in this forever, and they really haven't had anything else to do, you know?
Just wrestling random tag teams and giving title shots with no angle.
Right.
Really. So I hope something works on this, because this is going to be the big, hopefully they, do they take the step and stay at this top level and maybe move up? I hope so.
Yeah. Well, and what do they do together? Or do they go? They're still friends, but they go back.
Yeah, just kind of me. I think I would love to see that, right? I don't want to see them fight. I do not. I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times. Maybe
at least.
So I don't want to see them fight. I'd rather them just stay friends that could come back together if need help or something.
No doubt. The Swanton is obviously the thing everybody's going to remember from this. A real good match. I can't tell. Did Owens take a live round there from Dom when Dom came before they went into the bench? Dom came in with an elbow, and Owens was like touching his head. Then he got thrown in the thing. When he came out, he was bloody. So I think Dom caught him. I think he caught him. I couldn't tell, because he did cover his head after that. I couldn't tell if he was cutting himself. Normally people just let like John Moxley, and just start ripping on their head right with the camera on them. For us fans out there that want to see that.
Look, you're using also a razor. It's like this.
Oh yeah. Or sticking some forks in your head or something,
or spaghetti.
Okay. Now, Cody is on the Grayson Waller effect. This was odd to me.
Me too.
It was like, Cody comes out, and his sole purpose is to announce that Jey Uso is now on Raw. Who is Cody to announce this?
He used his
power
back,
to get. Now, what does that even mean? Is he getting traded to SmackDown for Jay? Like, what? Why did this happen? Why was he the one to do it? I mean, it's cool that Jay, they are obviously doing something here where these two are separated. Jimmy is on SmackDown. Jay is now on Raw. This is a big test for Jey Uso here now. I mean, forget about the Cody thing. That made no sense to me. He has the stroke to move people around show to show. Big test for Jay, though, man, because you and I have both been on record.
Solo.
We don't know if the solo thing will work with either one of these guys This is it. Everything
I'm
they've done to push
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah, everything they have done has been bloodline affiliated.
Yes.
So if he's going over here, not bloodline affiliated anymore, let's see what happens.
He can work the stick fairly well, though. And if you give him more time alone, maybe he gets better. So to me, I mean, he has the credentials inside the ring. You know, is as good as anybody out there. Yeah. He's got a good look. You know, he's got his family history. He's got it all. But what we said, he is just a spitting image of another guy, and you're going to try to push them both. Good luck. But yeah, Cody didn't say anything.
It was just weird. It was why did they decide this was the way to do this?
Put Cody on the card, maybe, and just to have him come out so people could pop.
Yeah, I don't know. It was an odd way to do it. I guess we'll hear from him Monday on Raw, I would assume, and then we'll get the explanation on what's going on there. It keeps Cody in the bloodline storyline, maybe like
that. You know what? I didn't even think. Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's so minute, and it really. I mean, but yeah, Jay now came or is talking with Cody. I'm sure that's not going to sit well with Roman.
Yeah, I would. That's the only thing I can assume they did there. Anyway, I think
they're going to fight at Mania.
Cody and Roman.
No, the Usos. I think they wanted to fight at Mania. I think
that's another way to keep them separated till Mania because they're on separate shows. All right. Then we have the Raw Women's Championship match. It is Rhea against Rochelle Rodriguez Gonzalez, whatever they called her, everything during this match. This match stunk.
It was awful.
The build stunk.
She's not ready.
She is not ready. I don't care about her. Why do I care about you? Because you got back muscles. That's the dumbest gimmick I've ever seen.
It is, and she's also a powerhouse who I don't know if you notice. Looks like she really struggles even to suplex Ripley. Like when I
Rhea's a big girl.
Rhea is, but I envision her ragtagging people like Bianca, and she doesn't.
Right? Yeah. This just did not work at all. She was not ready. She's thrown into this, and partially because they have nobody else for Rhea to fight at this point.
No, they don't. And that's and that's also not Raquel's fault either. No, she's being asked to move up to this position. I mean, you could obviously see they were going to bring her through the tag team division.
Right. Yeah, she was. The whole thing was just rushed. Like she was randomly going in Rhea's face in the back, and then she got hurt somehow. Like got hurt, and then they bring her back for. It just was bad. The match was bad. Way too long. Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Last two matches are way too long.
Yeah, when I was going to say, and that brings us to the final match. This match was better than the other match. We're talking Shinsuke against Seth. The build was actually very good. You and I have said to each other, where was this with Shinsuke for the last 5 years?
I don't know what year subtitles were invented, but I think it was
2023.
Okay, because I thought it had to be, because I was assuming it was prior to when Shinsuke got to the WWE. Yeah, Why hasn't he been doing this the whole freaking time? He looks great. Me and you have been so critical of this guy, and the way his body was, the way his face was on the screen, I can understand what he's saying. It was really good, Ryan. I enjoyed watching Shinsuke for the first time in his career in WWE.
Yeah, they made him look like $1 million.
I thought
really did. They made him look like $1 million with those promos and vignettes, whatever you want to call them, packages.
Oh yeah.
This match wasn't bad, but it just dragged on way too long.
I don't mind those slow matches, but we need to get out of this where every main event or every title match, excluding those with Brock Lesnar, needs to go 40 minutes or even 30. Some of them, you know what? If Shinsuke and Rollins, which I know they can go out there and do a Savage Steamboat where it's just back and forth action.
Right.
I think as fans, we should respect 15 minutes, 18 minutes. I mean, that's a long match when you're asking people to do that. You know, they don't have to go out there and lay on each other for 40, like I don't know. Again, the match didn't suck. I'm with you. The only thing is, dude, Good Vibrations needs to go.
You don't think just holding his foot above a guy and having a full body contortion hurts?
No.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Orange Cassidy doesn't use it, but I mean, that's the only thing I'm shocked about. I mean, it seems like one of the moves but it's like
there's plenty of time.
It just seems like it's a terrible looking move, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Awful.
There were some weird things here too. Why was Great Muta there? What? I mean, maybe he just wanted to come. I don't know, because they're boys, but they showed him and everything, and they're like, here he is, and then he doesn't do a thing, and then afterward we see that Shinsuke just destroyed Seth after the match.
I saw that,
but they didn't show it. Why didn't they show that?
We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go. We're out of time. You're already 20 minutes over. Like,
it's your network,
your own network. What are you talking about, man? This isn't Halloween Havoc. Oh, 98.
Here's one for you, Ryan. I thought of you. As he was about to hit the Falcon Arrow, Graves comments, he has used that with great success over the years.
What for getting 2 counts? That's all he does.
I was waiting. The Falcon Arrow has never won a match.
Never once. He gets plenty of 2 counts with the Falcon Arrow. I think
every move in wrestling history has won more matches than the Falcon Arrow. Hasn't won a match.
And every single time they're like, oh my gosh, he kicked out of the Falcon Arrow. Every time. He's never won with that. Can we just have him beat one guy with it?
One dude.
The thing over. It could be me. Anybody. Freaking 2023 freaking Barry Horowitz. I don't care. Have him beat somebody with that.
And if he doesn't, if we ever meet him, I'm going to have to go up to him and be like, Seth Rollins, nice to meet you. Can't wait to kick out of your Falcon Arrow.
Can't wait to kick out of your non-finish.
Yeah, your non-finish.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for this. We will get into Punk in 1 second. But, okay, where do you see? You have any idea where they're going with any of these angles now that this is done and we're moving on into the fall here? Any clue with any?
I see a possible collision at some point between the new Hurt Business and Judgment Day. I think maybe we add Bianca to the Hurt Business, and you've got a perfect matchup there with 3 guys, 1 gal.
That could be a Survivor Series match. Now that I'm thinking about
that. So that.
But are the Hurt Business going bad? Are they?
No, I don't think so. They looked. I don't know. I can't gauge them because Bobby comes out and he's all
he's high-fiving everybody.
And the Street Profits are not talking ill will of the crowd, the fans. Bobby Lashley is not either. He's just addressing the universe. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we could get Swerve, but that was kind of good for me. Seth Rollins, I think this Shinsuke feud's going to drag on a little bit.
It has to after he killed him after the thing,
Shinsuke
right?
have to win this now? If we're going to fight again, this is really because I think he's doing better than he ever has. Yeah. However, I don't think he's been built good enough to put this belt on him and to keep credibility to this belt compared with the Reigns title.
Unless Seth is going away for a little bit, I don't see Damian Priest winning at all. No. I he's not ready, even though he's so much better than he was. There's no way. I could have seen maybe, again, if Seth was going away, Roman's gone, Cena's going to be on SmackDown. Maybe he beats Shinsuke and takes the belt over to SmackDown. But I don't know. That's kind of convoluted too.
That would be huge for him. But again, you're getting rid of a heel. He doesn't have to cash in on the world title. He could stop Gunther.
Cena?
No, Damian. He could cash in and stop Gunther from breaking the streak. Be something to do with him. Because, again, I don't think I'd put a world title on this guy.
Yeah, it's just so... Again, I'm over Money in the Bank. I think
Me too. I know, but they're going to use it.
If you're going to put it on an IC belt, it's like, ugh, what's the point? I don't know. I think at this point, Gunther has to break the record unless Honky costs him at some point or something. Because what is he, like a week away now? 2 weeks away or something?
I think he's got this match versus Gable coming up. Doesn't he fight Gable one more time here at some point?
Yeah.
And I think that's it after. Yeah, because we're under like we're like close to like under 30 days, aren't we?
Yeah, it's under 30 days. It's like a week or two. Very interesting. And I guess what we're saying right here, we have no clue what the heck's going to happen the rest of the fall, because everything's kind of all over the place.
And
right
the
now.
Women's really stale division. Hopefully they can inject that with some sort of steroids or something.
Bianca's gone for a couple, like 2 months. So
Ripley doesn't really have a contender at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Io Sky still has zero character whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting what they're going to do here. You know, they've been relying on Trish, who's 47 years old. Becky's apparently going to mess with the NXT girl.
And I wouldn't be shocked if what we said, Trish may be stepping back a little bit because she has been on a full-time schedule. So
yeah, you would think she is. You would think she is. All right, Nick. Now the news of the weekend, the news of the year, the news of a lot. CM Punk fired by AEW. Tony Khan put out the statement yesterday and Saturday, that is, and then went on Collision and opened the show talking about it. We will get into that if you want to. That was kind of ridiculous what he said there. But CM Punk fired for getting into an altercation with Jungle Boy Jack Perry at All In. Supposed to be, once again, 1 year to the day that this happened before. Supposed to be the biggest day, the biggest week of their existence. 82,000 people in Wembley Stadium. No one on earth is talking about that at all. They are talking about CM Punk and getting in fights and da-da-da. And he was finally let go because Tony Khan said he feared for his life.
What? 3 days later or 4 weeks later?
A week later. Yes, it took him a week to realize. After talking to a committee, he realized his life was in danger.
I think he's the biggest person to fault on this whole thing.
Well, let's go, Nick. Go ahead. Go at it. You and I are vocal non-CM Punk guys. We are not surprised by this at all.
Yeah, and I think he has let the wrestlers run rampant. The inmates have ran that asylum since day one.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get into situations like this. When they came back, they were allowed to pop verbal shots at each other from each guy's corresponding show.
Yep.
The axe, the proverbial hatchet, had never been buried. Matter of fact, I heard there was a meeting that was supposed to have taken place before All In.
Yep.
Canceled by the Elite. Apparently, that's what I've heard.
Right.
So Ryan, this company is just so poorly run when it comes, and you're letting CM Punk book the show.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're going to give him that power, well, then he is in charge, I guess. And if he says no, but then you've got guys going out and taking pop shots at him. He has never been someone to let something just brush off his shoulder. He's going to come back at you as hard as he possibly can.
Yep.
For the jugular. This guy, we had said this before, Ryan. I said the biggest thing I ever regret saying on this show was that this industry is better with Punk than without him.
Yeah.
I still stand by that. It's not. He is a cancer. We have been saying this for years. Good riddance. Have fun in Japan. That apparently was always his dream now. So he was tape trading in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
He never wanted WWE, never wanted AEW. This guy is always just, you know what he wants? He wants CM Punk.
Yep.
That is who this guy wants. CM Punk. Everything is about CM Punk. And I don't understand how people still, again, the guy can support him. The guy can cut a promo. There's no doubt.
Can he though?
But it's scathing.
All he does
Ryan.
is shoot on people.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Scathing. I'm with you, Ryan. This guy, I think AEW will be better without him. I don't think when you look at the big pictures, did he really move the needle that much from before they had him to
first night? Every time the first night he came back, the first night on Collision, the first night on Rampage, that's it.
And then they're back down to their regular scheduled audience.
Right back where they were. Yep. You took the words out of my mouth. And after this happened, all sorts of promos popped up on him throughout the last 24 hours. And you had what you just said. It's all about Punk. It's only about Punk. There's a Triple H one from after he came back at SummerSlam that one year when he went away for a couple of weeks, and Triple H is like, you only care about you. Everything is about Punk. And it's absolutely true. And it reminds me of another one. Same thing a year ago when Moxley was going to fight Punk for the championship after he had been hurt. And he said the same thing. He said the same exact thing to him. He said something like, bad mind, bad heart, bad whatever.
He didn't turn out to be what any of us wanted him to be when we welcomed him back into this business, gave him a second chance in the greatest sport in the world. It just didn't work out. CM Punk, fragile ego, fragile body, weak mind, weak spirit.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. And I don't think this guy's a good promo. No, I don't. Hot take over here. But it's true because all he does is take your flaws and just fire them at it. Remember that one that he cut on Moxley when he was like, you're the third best guy in your group. That seems to be an ongoing thing in your career. And he said, your buddy Eddie is the third best Eddie that I've ever fought. And then he said, you're not even the best John I'm going to beat in Chicago. All this guy did was bury those three guys and the entire company and say WWE was better. He straight out said Roman's better, Seth's better, Eddie Guerrero's better, some other Eddies that I can't think of. John Cena's better. He just buried everybody.
That's all. He's just comfortable on the mic, I should say. That's what it is. I mean, the guy, he's fine doing that.
If anybody could come out here and just fire insults at people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the easiest thing to do. Just sit there and rip on people.
And he's always been sloppy in the ring to me.
Yes.
Not the worst wrestler ever, but my God, people talk like he's some wrestler of the year candidate. I mean, he's not nowhere near that. And Ryan,
he's had some good matches, but
sure, yeah. But with who, Ryan?
Yeah, other good workers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Cena. I mean, I'm sorry. People can rip on Cena all you want. His name seems to come up in good matches a lot.
He has nothing but good matches. Yeah.
I mean, he had feuds with, who's he feuding with? Edge, Orton. Ooh, I mean, they could put on a 5-star with me. Like, I mean, these are premier dudes. I'm sorry. I think Punk may be one of, if not the most overrated wrestler in the history of this industry. As far as, again, doesn't necessarily mean he's the worst, but has he ever moved the dial? I mean, they pushed him so hard in the WWE. And I get it. The last 6 months, he did take some big losses, and I'm not discrediting that. But this guy is just always. It is always about him. I'm not in the main event of WrestleMania. You're wrestling the freaking Undertaker,
right? Everybody wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania. I mean,
I'm sorry,
you
John
should want to be. The Rock was there.
You're not bigger than them. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You never will be.
Well, in that year, you look at what he did that year. He fought The Undertaker, fought Brock at SummerSlam, which I believe was the main event. He fought the freaking Rock at the Royal Rumble. Like, he was the main dude. Now, of course, you want to be in the main event of WrestleMania. You shouldn't be in the business if you don't want to be, but it was always about him. I should be in it. I should be in it. All this guy did was take and take and take. And what did he give back to the business? What did he really give back? I know that he does have fans. That's quite obvious that he has fans. But when we look back, whether he comes back ever or not, which we'll get into, what did he give back to the business? A bunch of shoot promos? Like, I don't know.
Anybody better from working with him?
And again, people keep putting out these videos from years past. There's one with John Cena where he goes, it's funny that the biggest thing you ever did in wrestling, the most noise you ever made in wrestling is when you sat down and your mic got cut off, when you went silent. That's when the most noise you ever made.
And
the pipe bomb promo.
He lived off that promo ever since.
He still is.
Yeah.
He still is. And I don't know, man. I've been online. I've been looking at people, and I saw one that you'll find hilarious because you and I, standing in line, waiting to get in to the Citrus Bowl, WrestleMania 33, with people everywhere, a sea of people. Hey, can you name me 30 wrestlers better than CM Punk in the next 1 minute? See if you could rattle off 30. And people thought we were crazy. I saw a couple different people say, I can name you 30 people better than him off the top of my head. Mark Madden, Pittsburgh radio host and former WCW guy. He said it too. He's like, this guy's not even top 50. He is not. He tweeted that last night.
Especially if you count managers and tag teams. My God.
Gosh, right. And you and I have been saying that forever. Sure, he's got his fans. He did a couple good things, but this guy left the business way worse than he brought it. Good riddance, man.
I'm glad I think AEW will be better with him out there. Once, you don't need this in the locker room. He's one of those players. He's kind of, almost like a Kyrie Irving or something like that I'm not sure, Antonio Brown, maybe. I'm not sure your locker room is better with this guy in it, even if he is what you think he is, and
he's not happy unless he's unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a miserable guy. He's just a miserable person, and he's a manipulator. When he came back this last time on Collision and cut that promo, tell me when I'm telling lies. It's like George Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it.
Right.
And this guy believes his own crap, and he manipulates. I don't know, man. So, and we've been saying it forever, and I know there's people mad at people like us. Oh, you're taking your victory lap.
I am, probably. Because we told you.
We're not the kind of guys that say, we told you so, but we told you so. Okay, very good.
We told you we did a show when he came back.
Yep.
We said this was going to happen, Ryan. This
only a matter of time. And it happened a year ago. And it took him a year. And then he was gone until whenever he came. I don't even remember now when he came back. But he came back this summer or spring. And then how long did it take him before he was gone? Now, I wonder this. Did he intentionally do this? Did he finally, I'm getting myself fired. Screw this. I'm out of here.
Everything you look at with him, Ryan, if there is a way to take that story and make it back to being all about him, then yeah, it's a possibility. What you're saying, could he have possibly got himself fired because CM Punk didn't want to be in AEW and CM Punk maybe wanted to go somewhere else? Yeah, maybe. I'm not saying he did, but
right.
Really, are we going to put that above CM Punk? I don't. This guy, I just don't trust him as far as I can spit into the wind.
No,
he says. But and when you do watch, usually it's only Hogan. But when he does these, you can watch even his documentary that he had on WWE. Ryan, I go back and I watch it, and I just took notes in my phone. Stuff he's saying on that doesn't even match up. 1 minute he's in freshman, he's in high school and he's bullied. He can't go anywhere. It's terrible. And God bless, I'm not making fun if that's what's happening. Then though, he's also selling out gymnasiums and is so popular. Kids from other areas are coming in to see him.
That's what he said. Yeah.
That's his words, not mine. They're coming in to see. So it doesn't match up, but Hogan got numbers wrong. So
yeah. Does he ever wrestle again?
Yeah.
And will it be in WWF? You never say never in this business.
That's what I was just going to say.
Ultimate Warrior.
Never.
Bret Hart. I think Nails is the only one who
Macho
ever.
Man.
And Nails, Macho too. Nails attacked Vince McMahon. And if you are to believe what is out there, the reason why he got fired here wasn't because of the Jungle Boy thing. He allegedly ran after Tony Khan.
That's what I heard.
And that's why he got fired. And then Tony saying, I feared for my life. That's why he got fired. So same thing, kind of a Nails thing. Now, WWF, do you take the chance on him?
No.
Personally, yeah, I wouldn't either. But if you're going to, the only way you bring him in, one off.
Roman.
And I would do this. Forget Cody Rhodes. Now, here's the other thing. He got fired, but I know in my business, if you get let go or something or anything happens, that no compete clause still goes. So, like, you can't go to another television station in the market for the duration of your contract. So even though he was fired, there may be something still in there.
They have to pay him his contract?
No, not for cause. If you're fired for a cause, you're out.
But he still has to oblige.
I don't know that, but in my business, yes. So like, I couldn't go, if I'm in Detroit at a TV station, I cannot go to another Detroit station until that contract is up. Currently, I cannot go to another national network. So like if ESPN called me today, I cannot work as an anchor for ESPN for a year. That's what my deal is right now. So I don't know if his is like that or what happened there, but he may not be able to go to WWF. If he could, though, I'm scrapping Cody Rhodes. Scrap it. He comes in at the Rumble or whatever he does. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, which is a real life feud. And I don't care what it costs. Pay him $10 million. Like, you will lose in a squash match. Roman Reigns kills you in the main event of WrestleMania. That's what I would do, but it's not going to happen. He wouldn't do it for $20 million. That guy,
no, he wouldn't. It's not him. It's not about him. So I don't. But yeah, I mean, no, there's no way. Ryan, you got so much developmental now. NXT, you've got young people in there. Always, the door is constantly changing. I'm not bringing this guy in there. Right. There is not a chance I'm putting him with these young people because I mean, he could cause some sort of shift. And also he clashes with the veterans because he
clashes with everybody.
He's better than all you in his mind. I mean, he does honestly believe that. If you ask this guy, Ryan, the greatest wrestlers of all time are him and the Macho Man. That's it. And he may even in his own mind think he's better than Savage at this point.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
In which for that you're not. He never will. He couldn't lace Savage's boots. I'm not kidding. This guy, I'm with you, Ryan. He's not even a top 50 for me. And again, your question, no. I don't think AEW can sign him back because they are a company that's run kind of by the elite, by the top guys. So he's not coming back there. But no, I'm not bringing him in. I mean, I think he'll wrestle in Japan. I think they'll pay him. I think these, the
thing is, though, New Japan and AEW have a thing now.
They'll keep him. They'll try. People will try because they see dollar signs when they see CM Punk, I think. Yeah. Until they don't. And, maybe they'll regret it if it's a one-off and done. Maybe they won't. You could see him over here on super shows. Maybe, just some indie show offers him. Yeah. As far as the names that are over here, the three biggest ones, when I'm saying WWE, AEW, and on a much lesser level Impact, I don't think he wrestles on any one of those programs ever again.
Yeah, he's not going back to AEW. I mean, there's absolutely no way. Not with those guys there. Not if he tried to attack Tony. It's not going to happen. It's just sad, man. It's just so sad. And you mentioned Tony at the beginning. Yeah, Tony should have nipped this thing in the bud right from the get-go. Yeah. We don't know what happened because Punk got hurt a year ago. So he was going to be gone anyway. We don't know if he got suspended, fined, or any of that. That was never made public. So he may have gotten fined or whatever. But there's been so many instances here. And I mean, that black cloud just constantly hovers over this guy's head, no matter where he's at, no matter what he's doing.
It's a time bomb. He's going to go. I mean, you might, Ryan, and you know what? He could go over and sign with a company. It could be 2 years down the road. It could be 3 years down the road. Things can just be going fine. I just believe with him, just like that.
Yeah.
It can go from everything smooth sailing to a freaking nightmare.
Right. Well, and I find it funny too. Makes me think again, this was planned out because before he came back this summer, we know that he went to a WWE show and he got in the back and he did talk to Triple H. Now reports are that it was fine and everything, but then they made him leave. And then he was at the Cauliflower Alley Club this weekend receiving some award. And apparently he sat up there and talked about Triple H for 5 minutes about how great he was and what a great guy. And thanks for the opportunity. Like come on, man.
Because it's about him. And these are doors closing now. The WWE is another door that could be opened. Money if he needs it. Of course, WWE has probably been the greatest time of his life now, Ryan. It was an awesome time where he had a great time. You know, I mean, the worst thing for CM Punk is that things are recorded and on camera and on the internet today.
Yeah.
Because you sound like an idiot.
Well, and everybody's calling for TMZ. Hey, TMZ, get that video of the backstage because apparently it's on tape, surveillance cameras or whatever it is. It's like, please get that video. Let's see it. We want to know what's going on. You know, you mentioned top 50 and whatever. And this is just something we talk about. But we did an all-time wrestler draft a couple of months back. And we each got 10 picks. There were 4 of us. We went 10 rounds apiece. Punk, I think, went in like the 5th round or something, like 20th pick overall, something like that. I ended up taking a couple of guys that I don't like. The Undertaker. I'm not a big fan. I ended up drafting him in the 3rd or 4th round or something like that. This thing went 10 rounds, 40 wrestlers total. I wouldn't have taken CM Punk. If he was my last pick, I would not have taken him.
And Ryan, there were still guys in our draft. If you haven't watched it, please do. It's really has some great points. But Sergeant Slaughter was still there. Sid Vicious was still there. These guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said Sid. I take Sid over CM Punk. Sid main evented 2 WrestleManias. So you know what? I'm sorry. He didn't destroy companies.
We are no AEW fans by any stretch. I don't like darn near anything about that company. I don't like the way it's run. I don't like the indie style.
Not for us.
They haven't made stars, things like that. But all of that said, when it first started, I was so excited for another competition for somebody that had money to compete with Vince, to push Vince, which I think they have done.
I was going to say, of anything, I think that's what I give them the most credit for. WWE is better since AEW started.
No question. And then Triple H taking the book helped too the last year. But my point is, I feel horrible for these guys, man, because they have had this cloud over their head now for at least a year. And there was probably some issues even before that because of this guy. And whether I like their vision or not, or other people out there like their vision or not, they had at some point a vision. It was going to be different than WWE and And it took a left turn. And then it became the Punk show after he got there. And I feel so bad for those guys. And again, biggest week they should have ever had. No one is speaking a word about that. No one.
Could you imagine in WWE, Ryan, if Roman Reigns, because CM Punk, let's not lie, he probably is the biggest name on that company when they had him, as far as like known people. Could you imagine
Jericho maybe, but yeah.
Roman Reigns doesn't want to work. He can't be on the same show as Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Right.
But how do you run a company like that?
Right.
You can't have people like this. And you know what? I'm hoping for AEW that this maybe cleans out. And you know what? Maybe this hits Tony Khan a little harder than anybody. Yeah. And he says, you know what? I need to have either myself or dudes in charge. There has to be the buck stops here, not with wrestlers. It stops with me. You have to come to me. And
he needs to stop being everybody's friend.
Yes.
And take over.
If the creative team says this is how it's going, this is how it's going. You know, I mean, that's sorry.
Everything we saw in WCW, you know, with the inmates running the asylum and everything, and everybody's just going to blame Hogan. He was the only one ever. But even when it was NWA, Dusty having the book, was pushing Dusty. Oh, shocking. Ole with the book, whoever it is, Ric Flair when he was booking, Kevin Nash. You can't do that. And you can't have the wrestlers inputting everything and booking their own stuff and writing their own stuff. And then obviously he basically gave Saturday to Punk.
He did.
To the point where he's like, I don't want this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And he's doing his own thing.
And it was basically marketed as Punk's Collision show. This is the show with CM Punk. He can't be on the other ones.
That's the way everybody looked at it. And funny, last night, who showed up on Collision? The Young Bucks.
All
at the end
of the
of
elite.
The show.
The elite were there, I heard. Yeah, so good for you know what? Ryan, because Ryan, as much as we may dog, and I mean this sincerely, the much as I may dog AEW, it is not for me. There's so much I do not like about it. I am pulling for it to be better. Like I think a better product, because I saw what happens when we go down to one company.
Yep.
The product got real bad, real stale, real, just mundane, if you will.
Yep.
I hope it gets better, and I hope this is a step in the right direction, because getting this guy out is like just coming out of cancer surgery.
What happens to Collision now, too? Right. I mean, the numbers have already been bad. Now college football has started on Saturday nights, and now CM Punk is not there. What happens to that show?
Notre Dame plays Ohio State in 3 weeks at 7:30. I'm going to guess they're going to draw slightly higher ratings than Collision.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that people are going to come racing to see, Ricky Starks. And that's probably the only guy I like in that entire company. I don't think people are going to be jumping out of their seats to see him. TK's got to get this together. And it showed me last night also that he gathered himself, but when he went out in front of the crowd, he got shook.
Yeah, he did.
When they booed him, he was about
he's going to cry.
Yeah, I thought he was going to cry because this guy, not his fault, but he's born into billions, and he is a child.
Not used to taking that. I don't think anybody's ever raised their voice to this, but
nobody's ever raised their voice to this guy. Nobody's ever told this guy no in his life. And he about lost it when how dare you boo me? Like, he doesn't know what to do.
No. He's always been told he's the best looking, the best. I mean, he is in his own mind the EST of everything, he's ever done.
Well, I mean, think about this, man. This man literally sits on conference calls and says, yeah, when I was fantasy booking, when I was a kid growing up, my dream was to have 2 pay-per-views in 1 week. I don't know why they didn't want to bundle it. This man is so screwed up in his own head with his own ideas. There's a reason it's called fantasy booking, not real. He is playing with real life action figures here. I mean, this man went to Toys R Us and got himself some real life wrestling buddies. And that is what he's doing out here. And it shows. It will be interesting. And I'm sure more will come out because obviously this just happened less than 24 hours ago. So more will come out. We'll find out if there's a no compete and whatnot. And we'll see over the next couple of months what's going to happen. But yeah, CM Punk, at the very least, no matter what you think of him, he is tarnished beyond belief now. I mean, it is tarnished now, which is too bad because he did do some good things. But there you go, Nick.
I wouldn't touch him.
Appreciate it. You weren't going to touch him before yesterday, anyways. Appreciate
I wouldn't sign him.
As always, everybody out there, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Tell us what you think about the show and about Punk in the comments below. That would be awesome. Thanks as always for watching. And until next time, job guys out.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.